What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity NC, and you are joining me for my recap of NXT Vengeance Day 2025 live in Washington, D.C. This was the first NXT live event from 2025, so we're going to cover it in full, and we're kicking off the night with the Women's NXT North American Championship. The champion Fallon Henley with Fatal Influence defending against Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie takes control, applying a choke to Fallon, and applies a hanging triangle to Henley. Henley lands a springboard blockbuster for a two. Vaquer lands a super kick, faith kick, a springboard crossbody, and a belly to belly. Henley lands a leaping neck breaker. We then see Stephanie eat defeat, a dragon screw across the ropes, and a double knees in the corner for a two. JC Jane attacks Stephanie on the floor. Stephanie slams Fallon to the ring post, and then Stephanie dives onto all members of Fatal Influence on the floor. Stephanie lands an SVB and the spiral tap. And we have a new NXT Women's North American Champion in Stephanie Vaquer. That was bound to happen. She has a big name in the indies. She came up. She's from Chile. She's been doing good at NXT. So I definitely think she deserved that victory and that title. Fallon Henley did go with it, but she's kind of just like a placeholder champion, in my opinion. Next, we have the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. The champions Axiom and Nathan Frazer defeating the team of Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura. And this is a very good tag match. These four men went at it. We see Axiom land a springboard 450, and Frazer lands a spinning leg drop to Josh Briggs. Briggs hits a power bomb to Nathan Frazer. We then see Josh Briggs hit Axiom with a hard clothesline, and then Briggs super choke slams Frazer onto Axiom. Yoshiki misses a flying splash, and then Axiom and Nathan Frazer hit their finisher on Yoshiki, and Axiom and Nathan Frazer retain the NXT Tag Team Championships here in a good match. After the group of men that we've been seeing for a couple weeks on NXT behind the masks come out, and they destroyed both teams, and pretty much fans are chanting, "Who are you?" We don't really know who these guys are. But hopefully on NXT this week we'll find out what what their reasonings are behind attacking the champions and what their motives are for being in NXT. Next we have a strap match: Trick Williams versus Eddy Thorpe. I can't say his name right. Eddy Thorpe. Thorpe. Uh, Eddy pulls Trick Williams off the top rope to the mat and attacks Trick before the bell. Eddy whips Trick Williams many times in the back with the strap and hog ties him to the ring post. Williams is able to get the advantage, though, attacking Eddy with the strap as well. Trick lands a clothesline, and then a side kick. He being Trick lands a trick shot, and then Eddy Thorpe rolls to the floor. Eddy then low blows Trick with a strap, and then lands a running knee. And Eddy Thorpe gets a surprise victory over former NXT champion Trick Williams. Decent match, and so far every match on this card has been good. Nothing spectacular here in the strap match, but they definitely used the strap to their advantage, and it was pretty decent. Next, we see Ethan Page taking on Javon Evans. Evan dives onto Ethan on the floor, and they roll over the announce table. Evans leaps over the table with a clothesline and lands a suplex, and then a Blue Thunder bomb for a two. Page traps Javon's legs in the ring steps and drop kicks them. Page is bleeding really badly from his nose. Page applies an ankle lock, but then Javon's able to counter it. Ethan lands an Ego's Edge for a two. Evans hits the red dot and then stomps Ethan Page's jaw, trying to get revenge on Page for the same thing. Page stomping on Javon's jaw in NXT a couple weeks ago. Page punches Evans' mouth guard out and then lands a twisted grin, and Ethan Page defeats Javon Evans here. This is a really good match. Javon Evans is bouncy, as he likes to say about himself, and Ethan Page is a good heel for Javon to sink his teeth into. Next, we have a triple threat match for the NXT Championship. The champion Oba Femi defeats Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Oba lands a double choke slam and a double suplex. Theory and Waller argue throughout the match trying to get the pinfall over Oba, but the end comes when Waller accidentally stunners Austin Theory, and Oba hits a fall from Grace, and Oba Femi retains the NXT Championship. This was a fun triple threat match. We knew that Waller and Theory were going to eventually come to blows, but we also knew that Femi was probably going to retain here. Uh, Ariana Grace introduces Eva to Santino Morella, and clearly TNA and NXT are going to continue this working relationship. Maybe we'll see more TNA stars show up on NXT and vice versa. And we've made it to our main event here of Vengeance Day 2025. The NXT Women's Champion Giulia defends against Bayley, Cora Jade, and Roxanne Perez in a fatal four-way. And this is actually a good match. Again, nothing spectacular. It's nice to see Bayley compete. This is being billed as the different generations of NXT women competing. Giulia ends up getting the win after hitting Roxanne Perez with a Northern Lights bomb. After the match, Giulia celebrates with the NXT Women's title, and then Stephanie Vaquer comes out with the NXT Women's North American title. They celebrate, and then Jordynne Grace comes out, walks into the ring, and sets her eyes on both Giulia and Stephanie, and think they're definitely heating up in the women's division on NXT. But that was it for NXT Vengeance Day. It was a decent pay per view. Probably the match of the night. Oh gosh, I don't even know because they were all good. But um, I would say probably Ethan Page and Javon Evans just because of all the crazy maneuvers they did. But overall, this is a good show. Definitely recommend checking it out. Our next NXT special will be Roadblock, and then we have Stand Deliver. We're going to be covering AEW Grand Slam Australia, Attitude Years covering King of the Ring 2000, and we've got Elimination Chamber coming up on March 1st. So a lot coming your way. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to stay notified when new content is created. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.